The Weeknd and Travis Scott. Let's talk about it.
This episode is brought to you by Companion. Iris and Josh seem like the perfect match, but when a weekend getaway turns into a nightmare, Iris realizes that things aren't as perfect as they appear. From the creators of Barbarian and the studio that brought you The Notebook comes a twisted tale of modern romance and the sweet satisfaction of revenge. Companion, now playing only in theaters. Rated R, under 17, not admitted without parent.
How y'all doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About It, Music Reviews Season 11. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. We got a good show for you today because we got The Weeknd. We've been covering The Weeknd for a while. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. 2 episodes a day. We've been covering this new album, but now the features have all been revealed on this album, and we're going to be covering some of the big feature tracks. Guys, we got 2 goddamn bangers today. So, if you're on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you follow, turn on notifications. Like I said, I'm going to keep my thoughts about the entire album, but I will be pretty transparent with y'all. I've now listened to this album for, I ain't gonna lie, probably like 3 or 4 goddamn times. I mean, Lord mighty. I mean, this album just pretty much hits on all goddamn cylinders. So, I'm gonna keep my thoughts about the, entire album for either Tuesday or Wednesday because, guys, we might as well announce it here. We are doing an album review for this album. We'll be doing a part 1 and a part 2, Tuesday and Wednesday. Now that will... And then, 2 episodes a day. We'll be back on Thursday night with, newer music and, stuff like that. But, guys, I've been having a great time. And this track right here is probably, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, probably one of the best tracks off this goddamn album. I mean, holy shit. I mean, this is like if I went into a bakery and everything was on sale, but the quality was still fresh, and the shit just absolutely hit. I mean, Lord mighty, the layers of this song, there's even a fucking skit. There's a little bit of a skit in between this long song, and then we get to Travis Scott, which is just...
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Love, exciting and new. Hello, Hannah Waddingham here. Have you seen the fabulous new Sun Princess? World-class entertainment, exceptional dining, and the greatest pizza ever. It's alive.
Don't miss our Come Aboard sale with up to 40% off and free room upgrades. Visit princess.com or call your travel advisor to book. Princess Cruises. Terms and restrictions apply. Offer ends 2/28/25. Ships of Bermudan and British Registry.
Business taxes. Was stressing about all the time and all the money you spent on your taxes.
This is my bill?
Now Business Taxes is a TurboTax small business expert who does your taxes for you and offers year-round advice at no additional cost, so you can keep more money in your business. Now this is taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on turbotax.com/business. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service.
Goddamn. Now, guys, let's talk about this track. This is The Weeknd featuring Travis Scott and Florence plus The Machine. Have I ever heard of Florence or plus The Machine? I don't know. I think it's like some production. I think it's some production thing. There's a lot of background vocals that are not The Weeknd on here, which I'm assuming it's from Florence and plus The Machine, which I really enjoy those background vocals. I think it just gives the track a really good vibe. But The Weeknd and the Travis Scott are the main people here, and this song is called Reflections Laughing. Let's get into this track, guys. Let's just start. I don't want to waste too much time here. Starting off with my first point, let's talk about the beat. God damn. The Weeknd, always, has a really good production selection. But, this is one of those cases where it starts out simple. We have that simple guitar loop. We have a simple guitar-like instrumental. And, when I usually complain about, simple guitar instrumentals, sometimes they hit and sometimes they don't hit. Sometimes they're a little too generic. There's nothing to them. And sometimes it can work for the artist's favor. This is not the case. This is not the case because this guitar instrumental starts out, I would say, pretty basic, pretty generic, but it slowly starts building. And we get more and more away from the simple guitar loop that I've heard, from countless songs. You've heard this guitar loop from countless goddamn songs. But as, you keep building to it, adding these synths, adding these effects in the background, adding, all this stuff that just overall makes the track a really enjoyable experience. It just overall, makes it where I go, alright, this is not generic, this is not, whatever. This has some life to it, this has some soul to it, there's some build-up to this, and I really like that. I like the slow build-up. I really enjoy that, because when you have slow build-up, but slow build-up is done right, and then the build-up pays off at the end. When you have those two elements that are, corresponding, if they're absolutely working together, you are going to have an absolute banger-ass track, and you are going to absolutely, be able to listen to this song over and over again. I mean, guys, just last night, when I was writing this review, when I was getting ready to talk about this song, guys, I spent probably a whole hour, just replaying this track, because this track was so entertaining. This track had a lot to it. And overall, when it has, these type of elements, it's so much easier just to, go back and listen to this song over and over and over again. Now, my next point, too, is the Weeknd's vocals on here. I mean, when we talk about that beginning verse, I like the beginning verse. I like the vocals. I like the singing here. And I also like, how, we're not just getting, the Weeknd, he can't just sing. He can't just sing, guys. He's gotta go fucking crazy. He's gotta sing his goddamn heart out. He's gotta fucking, go crazy on these goddamn vocals. So when you fucking hear that shit, when you hear this man singing his goddamn soul out on this track, you're gonna feel that shit. And, pair it up with that guitar instrumental, with that piano. There's even some violin in the back. There's even those dark synths. Pair all of those elements up, and you're going to get an absolute banger-ass goddamn track. Now, my next point, too. Oh, Lord. My next point is, I like the hook. I think the hook is good. My only thing about the hook is that, it is... I think it's a good hook. I like the vocals of the hook. I like the intensity. I like the emotion. My only thing about the hook is that I wish there was a little bit more to it. Maybe we had a flow switch up. Maybe we had more background vocals. We get a fade. We get like a hint of those background vocals from my...
A strong host game needs a strong wing game. Add Popeye's wings to your game day spread, and the crew won't just be cheering, they'll be salivating. With 8 bold, crispy Louisiana flavors to satisfy everyone's taste buds, our wing game is strong enough to always get you the W. At $5.99 for a 6-piece, order bone-in or boneless for your next watch party. Someone just wrapped up the title of Most Valuable Host.
Have that chicken from Popeyes.
At participating U.S. restaurants, price may vary, tax extra.
I'm guessing the Florence plus the machine, but I wish those were, brought up. I wish on the mixing those vocals were a little bit more brought up. They feel a little bit too much in the goddamn background. So I really wish there was a little bit more to the hook. But that's going to lead off to my final point, which is Travis Scott. Travis Scott, guys, I'm going to say this. And I'm going to say this with full confidence, with full my ability to say this shit. I think Travis Scott is probably one of the best feature artists of this generation. And that's a big statement. I understand that. But, when we talk about, an artist who can take elements of another artist's work and kind of create their own thing and also kill it at the same time, that just shows the level of creativity, the level of skill Travis Scott has when he's on features. I mean, when we go all the way back to Playboi Carti, when Travis Scott completely flipped that goddamn song, when Travis Scott completely flips these songs and kind of does his own thing, kind of reminds me of like a 21 Savage feature line from, a couple of years ago when 21 Savage was on every fucking thing. But this is just done better. This is just better. And this shows that Travis Scott is probably fucking one of the best out there that can, do features. So, those are my points. Those are my little overall points. But I did write a review for this. So, we're going to dive in, guys. We're going to go fully in depth. I got a lot to talk about, so let's get this shit started. The Weeknd, Travis Scott, Florence the Machine, Reflections Laughing. Again, let's just talk about that instrumental. I like the guitar instrumental. It's simple, and then it slowly starts building up with those background vocals. That bass kicks in. The guitar builds even more, leading to the beat switch, which we get a more boom bap style drums, which I really enjoy that. I like the beat switch, and beat switches, when they're done really good, when they're done really right, they fucking hit every time, and these are one of those, examples, especially when, those boom bap style drums coming in, and then those dark synths come crashing in, and it's just like, goddamn. The production is fire. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy how it just doesn't stay as a basic guitar instrumental. It really builds, and it really becomes something on its own. I love the production. I love the variety in production. I'm glad that, the Weeknd cares about the production this much. It really shows. The Weeknd's beginning verse is pretty good. I like the vocals, the emotions too. He's singing his ass off, and that second verse, I will say that second verse hits even more because he's singing his ass off even more. The emotion is even goddamn more on the second verse, which is just absolutely good. And then the hook is great. Those background vocals combined with the Weeknd going crazy with the vocals, singing his ass off. I really enjoy that. I really enjoy that. Really good hook, and the hook overall, I think it's addicting, and I think it's going to easily get stuck in your head. But we got to talk about who had my favorite goddamn verse of this whole track. And, the reason why I kept replaying this track, because that Travis Scott part is fucking... Travis Scott. Let's talk about Travis Scott. Travis Scott absolutely killed this switch up. His flow. His flow, the vocals, the confidence too, everything here just absolutely hits. He's having like 2 different flow switches, and he just kind of rides the beat. The vocals are deep, and it just absolutely hits fucking hard. Travis Scott had my favorite verse, and I ain't gonna lie, guys. He absolutely destroyed this goddamn verse. I mean, holy shit. Guys, overall, this song right here is really goddamn good. This song right here is probably one of the best tracks off the album, and overall, a really fire song. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, what'd y'all think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I don't know, let me know. Thank you so much for listening, guys. But don't go away yet, because, 2 episodes a day, so there's already a second episode up, and we're covering another Weeknd song, but it's also another big feature, so make sure you go check that out, guys. Again, if you're on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you follow, turn on notifications. 2 episodes a day. The second one should be up right now. Go check it out. See y'all later. Have a good one. Bye.